Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. I'm your host, Dan Sisk.
And I'm Schroeder.
And guys, we had a busy weekend. This was the last weekend of the NFL season. So we had the playoff picture really come into focus. And we'll be talking about the top of the bracket at the end of this episode and really predicting what we think is going to happen in the first round of the playoffs. But also, Eric, we had the quarterfinals of the college football playoff, right? So we had 4 big games there to talk about. We're going to be talking about all 4 of them. In terms of the NFL games, we're really only going to talk about the Steelers because we really want to talk about the bracket and we don't want the episode to push 2 hours. So we're going to just talk about the Steelers in terms of, game breakdowns, but we'll go in depth on the bracket and give you our thoughts on who we think is going to win in the first round. So Eric, you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, guys. So in terms of the news roundup, one of my favorite days of the year is I call it Black Monday in the National Football League. That's the day after the final Sunday of the year where all of the bad coaches get fired. And this year did not disappoint. The last few years, Eric, I feel like we haven't gotten a ton of Black Monday fires, right? I mean, every big firing in the last few years that I remember, up until this year, of course, was mid-season and whatnot. So we didn't get a lot of drama last year, but this year we got a number of firings. The Falcons fired Raheem Morris. The Cleveland Browns fired Kevin Stefanski. I have a lot to say on that. The Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon. The Vegas, I almost called them the LA Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders fired Pete Carroll after only 1 season. And then breaking just a few hours ago, as of the recording of this episode, John Harbaugh is out as the coach of the Baltimore Ravens. So Eric, I guess I'll ask you for general thoughts. Were any of these guys screwed? Were any of them, or were all of them like kind of deserving of getting fired?
I think most of them were deserved. I mean, if we look at what Raheem has done, Kevin Stefanski's done, just all these guys, maybe except John Harbaugh. We see what they've done. It's nothing. They've done nothing.
Yeah.
As far as Kevin Stefanski goes, he's just been. I don't even know what he's doing. He's just. I don't even know. I can't even. I don't even have words to describe how bad of a coach he is. Seems like a nice guy, but he's not a great football mind, and he's not what the Browns need. I don't know what the Browns need. The Browns just need to clean house or something. Something needs to change there. I don't know if it's a general manager issue or what, but something has to change. And then as far as the Falcons goes, they were in a little bit of a rough stint almost with Penix getting injured this year. But you still have a veteran quarterback with Kirk Cousins. So he should be able to step up and at least deliver. And you should be able to coach him through that. And he really wasn't. So the Falcons weren't very good this year. And they should have been. I mean, they have the talent on the team.
They did.
It's going to be bad. With, Bijan Robinson and the little wide receiver core they got going on. So they have no excuse. I mean, it's just, I don't think any of these guys were screwed. And they honestly, I feel like they knew what was coming to them mid-season.
Yeah, man. I honestly feel that Kevin Stefanski's a very good head coach. I mean, he's won Coach of the Year. I mean, you don't win Coach of the Year if you're a complete idiot. Although say that to Brian Dable, right? But I honestly feel that Jimmy Haslam. I mean, we all know that Jimmy Haslam's the owner of the Browns is the real issue there. I mean, the guy Stefanski was given no quarterback post Baker Mayfield, right? And if you don't have a good quarterback, you are not going to succeed. And his owner gave him a sex offender as a quarterback. Right? And then when they paid him to go away, they didn't replace Watson with anyone sufficient. I mean, Schroeder.
Yeah, they got two average rookie quarterbacks in
exactly.
Like it doesn't make any sense. No, but you can't tell me that Kevin Stefanski didn't have a say in that at all.
No, I think he definitely was given control of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, but the fact that the options were Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, that's the problem.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, trading Flacco mid-season, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying Stefanski is an amazing coach, but I do believe that he knows a good amount of X's and O's, and the fact that he already got a couple interviews, um, I think he had like 3 lined up almost immediately after getting fired. I think that speaks volumes, to be honest with you. Again, I'm not considering him one of the best coaches in the sport, but I think the issues in Cleveland are far beyond him, to be honest with you. As for I guess I'll touch on Arizona next. I mean, Jonathan Gannon was a hack. I mean, that choke to the Titans in what was it, week 4? Eric, am I remembering that right? When they were, they fumbled a couple times. The Amari DiMercato fumbled the ball and dropped it right before the goal line. I mean that team was basically cursed from that moment on. And they never really recovered from that game. They have sunk all of their resources into a quarterback that A, can't stay healthy, and B, when he is a consistent underperformer. I mean, calling Kyler Murray Lamar Jackson light is an insult to Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is probably not a top 5 quarterback in the sport.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they just that entire organization is a disaster. Gannon was the scapegoat. He was one of the many, many problems with that team, and I don't see them getting out of that tailspin anytime soon. Whatsoever. They're an embarrassment, if we're being totally honest. You touched on Raheem Morris, and I largely agree with you. He was not a horrible coach. He in the back half of the season, kind of, I don't want to say rejuvenated the team, but he kept them in a lot of games late, when the team was all but dead. I do think, I mean, I know a lot of members of the team came out publicly in support of him before he was officially fired, but clearly the Falcons, obviously they have not recovered from 28-3, right? And also, Eric, which should be noted, the Falcons fired their GM and their president. So they've real Arthur Blank, the owner, has really cleaned house over in Atlanta. And we'll see if it works out. But I feel like that's a rebuild that is never going to end. I mean, it's just never going to end. I feel like Penix, again, can't stay healthy. Cousins, when he plays, is insanely inconsistent and isn't what he was. So that team is also a mess. And again, I don't really know how else they really get out of it. Um, I guess the only thing I have to say about Pete Carroll is, I mean, he's going to have a forced retirement because he's past his prime, and I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's an older guy. I mean, the fact that he was even coaching the Raiders, I don't even know. I mean, I guess he wanted to, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he just got the job just because he's Pete Carroll and
Yeah,
what he was. But yeah, like you said, he's not what he used to be.
yeah. Any
Um,
baseball
I mean,
fan? Oh, so please continue. Please continue. Yeah,
that's a tough position to go to, though. I mean, look at the team he's got. I understand Geno Smith wasn't playing terrible, but that line is so bad. They do nothing.
yeah,
Gentry's a great talent, but when you have no line, it doesn't help.
exactly.
Um, and then they trade away Jacoby Myers as well. So that team's a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so,
I don't know. Again, I feel like Carroll in large part was just a scapegoat. I
yeah,
feel
yep.
like he just any baseball fans. It reminded me of when Tony La Russa was hired as the manager of the Chicago White Sox, like an indisputable Hall of Fame manager. But in 2020, hiring 80-year-old Tony La Russa to manage your team was a really bad idea, and it didn't work out. And it honestly, this Pete Carroll move kind of reminded me of that. I feel like it's almost a football version of that. The guy just really was past his time, and I don't think the league is largely going to miss him, even though his legacy in football is secure. Um,
Right.
I guess I feel like we really should leave this as its own little segment, Eric. John Harbaugh, what are your thoughts?
It's interesting. Um, It's really interesting. If you don't know, Ravens fired head coach John Harbaugh after 18 seasons. Um,
18. Wow.
yeah, it's really interesting. I know they didn't win the AFC North, a bad AFC North at that, but
Yeah.
you have to understand that Lamar was playing hurt for a multitude of weeks
Yeah.
just because they were right in the race with the Steelers. And I mean, the Bengals were done once Joe Burrow got hurt, but they were right in the race with the Steelers the entire time. So Lamar was pushing through that injury. And he wasn't playing up to his full potential, which, like you said, is not, top four or anything, but he's still a good quarterback. He can get it done with his legs, but and I don't know that it's hard. I know he was playing hurt, but with the team that John Harbaugh constructed, I feel like you have to win the North. I mean, especially with Aaron Rodgers, or 41 or whatever old Aaron Rodgers and a bad Steelers team at the top. I
Yeah.
feel like you have to win the AFC North, and
I
he
agree
did.
with I agree with you. I feel like honestly, I mean, if you look at the recent Ravens history, some weird shit always happens that keeps them back, right?
Right.
From the Mark Andrews dropped pass to, I mean, think about it. Like, it's always the flukiest, weirdest thing, and they always beat themselves. As you said, this is a bad Steelers team. And I mean, it's just they always beat themselves. They always do it to themselves. It's just a mess. And
Yeah.
I feel like the Ravens are at the point now where, again, I don't think Lamar is one of the best in the league. I think his lack of playoff success speaks volumes to that statement, but you have to get to a conference championship game for Christ's sake. I mean, it's been
Yeah.
how long
Yeah.
has he been there? He's been there several years at this point. They gave him all the money in the world to stay. I just, if you can't do that with him, I mean, I feel like you're again past your expiration date.
Right.
Um, and yeah, man, it's just crazy. I always forget how long John Harbaugh was there. 18 years. Wow. And yeah, I just it was again, as I texted you when this story broke, I totally agree with the move. I think it is 1,000% the right move. But I'm truly surprised that Baltimore had the guts to do it because, like Tomlin, I felt like they were just insanely loyal to their coach. And they
Yeah.
weren't willing to pull the plug, even though I'm proud of them for pulling the plug. As a Steelers fan, I'm proud of them for pulling the plug because that'll mean that they will get better, which makes the rivalry between the teams better. I mean, this is better. This is great for the AFC North, if we're being totally honest. I mean, this is the Ravens are not what they should be, and they haven't been for years. And I truly believe that Harbaugh has kept them back. And we'll see who they hire. I'll be very curious. I'm sure that he's gonna get another gig somewhere. I saw a headline earlier that where his agent came out to Schefter and was like, "Hey, we've been getting a ton of phone calls in the last
Yeah.
few hours."
7 phone calls.
7? Okay, I didn't know the
Yep.
number. Yeah, I totally believe that, and he'll get a
Yeah.
job somewhere. Um, we'll see, and we'll talk about it on this show when that happens. But um, I'll be curious to see who the Ravens get because you need a head coach that can utilize Lamar. It's not like Lamar's very versatile in terms of style. He is what he is, right? So you're gonna need to hire a coach that can really play into that RPO offense. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
a fascinating situation.
yeah, I like the move, but I mean, great coach. His time was just up in Baltimore. There's nothing wrong with that. He's gonna do good things somewhere else, I'm sure. I mean, he's not a bad coach by any means. It just wasn't working out these past couple years, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to know as a team, you have to move on.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. Okay, that's all I have for the news. What about
Yep,
you?
that's all I got.
Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the playoff games as they aired. And we'll jump on each of them as we go. So, Eric, do you want to talk about the first one? I'm so sorry. I feel bad.
Yeah. No, hey,
Go ahead.
man. So yeah, first game here. Miami goes and beats number 2 Ohio State 24-14. And what a game for Miami, man. Really, really impressed. Carson Beck impressed me. And I hate to say it as he impressed me. He played good. Went against a really good Ohio State defense. He went 19 for 26, 138 yards and a touchdown. That's a good game. And
Yeah.
then Mark Fletcher Jr. on the ground, 90 yards, just ran all over them. And then Charmar Brown got a touchdown as well, only with 26 yards, but they didn't need to use him as much. Um, on Ohio State side, Julian Sand went 22 for 35, 287 yards, touchdown, 2 picks, really bad interceptions.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson, who's been dominant all year, really did nothing except a touchdown. Jeremiah Smith played really well, 7 receptions, 157 yards with a TD, but uh, it was just came down to who was more physical and honestly who wanted it more, man. Miami wanted this win and they really outplayed them. It was really impressive. The defense was kept switching up their looks from man to zone and really confusing Julian. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just what happened. And that one pass, that swing pass that got picked off and taken back to the house, why are you throwing that ball? I
Yeah.
mean, that's but on the DB's part, that's an amazing read.
Yeah.
Miami really impressed me, and they just played really well. They controlled the game. They had more time of possession, which we've seen all year. Ohio State just going into places and just controlling the game. You
Yeah.
know, from the ground, and with Julian Saint's ability to throw the screen pass or even just get yards on his feet, they have a way of controlling the game, just keeping the ball away from you. So the fact that Miami was able to do that was really impressive. Um, I mean, yeah, it was just a great game for Miami, and yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, man. What was really interesting about the time of possession thing was when Ohio State isn't in complete control of the ball, they obviously have pressure on them. And I really don't think Sayan performs well under pressure. I think he showed that he was young. I think he showed that he was a freshman. I think he showed the vulnerability that he really hasn't been put into so far this year. Even the Indiana game, I didn't
Did
feel like
these past 3 weeks? I mean, the Michigan game. Look how he started out.
sure, but I didn't even feel like the Indiana game had that much he had that much pressure on him. I feel like the pressure got to him in this game. I really did. That pick six, when you watch the replay, the DB read him like a book. I mean,
Yeah,
he literally, you can see the eyes cross. It's like Ghostbusters crossing the streams. I mean, you see the eye line just, you know, right there. And I mean, I felt like he was really under pressure the whole game, and he really couldn't recover from that. And yeah, man, other than Jeremiah Smith, they didn't have a single standout performance on offense. And that Jeremiah can't do it all, right? I mean, he cannot make every catch. He can't get every, complete every crossing route. There was a lot of issues there. I think we have to make a hard statement, man. This Ohio State offense has proven to be a real disappointment because when you look at their schedule, who are the three like actually good teams they played, good to great teams, I should say. Texas, Miami, and Indiana, right? And they scored, let me repeat this, 14, 10, and 14 points. Okay? Against the three defenses that are actually worth a shit. I mean, Penn State's defense wasn't that bad, but by the time they played Ohio State, they had completely given up, so they didn't try in the game. I mean, I think we need to be honest, Eric. This Ohio State offense proved to really be underwhelming, which is crazy because Ryan Day always recruits the best players on offense. I don't know what the hell happened. He had all the pieces there. I think CJ Donaldson is a very, very solid player. I think Jeremiah Smith is an elite player. Bo Jackson, Carnell Tate are nice additions to the offense. It was just such an odd game that it really exposed Ohio State. And I haven't seen them that exposed in a very, very long time. Frankly, since the Michigan game last year. Even the loss to Indiana, I didn't feel like it was that embarrassing because Indiana's just that good, right? This game was a choke. It really was. Moving on to Miami. Dude, this defense holding A&M to 3 at home and then holding Ohio State to 14. This Miami defense is elite. It is the real deal. We should not be sleeping on the Miami defense. Oh my Jesus, Jesus. I mean, it is a really, really good defense. As you said, they were so physical. They pressured everyone the whole time. They forced bad throws. And I mean, again, outside of Jeremiah Smith, they shut everyone down. I think Ole Miss has, and Ole Miss and Trinidad Chambliss have their work cut out for them next week in terms of winning that game. It's gonna be a dogfight, Ole Miss Miami, and we'll obviously talk about that game at the end of the show. But yeah, man, I feel like, tell me whether you agree or disagree. I feel like Miami's offense isn't like Indiana where they don't make mistakes. They absolutely do, but they have a lot of poise. Like they aren't the flashiest team on offense. They aren't the sexiest team, but Beck has a lot of poise. He doesn't get rattled a lot, and I think you can see that. Like, uh, how many passing? Excuse me. How many yards of offense did Beck have? 138 passing. I mean, that's not amazing, but he only had what, 7 incompletions. I mean, he played a clean game. He was, again, had a lot of poise in the backfield, and that honestly made the difference. So I agree with you. I was very impressed with Beck. He commanded that game very, very well and did an incredible job as the leader. I don't think Cristobal's game calls were particularly impressive. He didn't blow me away from that line of thing, in that way. But yeah, man, the interceptions ended up being the death knell for Ohio State, and Beck was able to capitalize. So I don't
Yeah.
know. It's tough.
I mean, yeah, Miami did score a garbage time TD to make it 24-14. It was 17-14 before that.
Yeah.
Um, and that's right off the missed field goal from guess who? Jaden Fielding. I mean, he really makes me angry. I don't
I was
know.
gonna say the player who you hate the most.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can be a Division One kicker and not be able to make kicks in big spots. I understand the pressure; it happens, but I mean that kick he missed was a chip shot.
In a
Um,
dome.
in a dome. There's no excuse. There's really no excuse. And he did it. He's done it before. He's done it this year. I mean, what he did it, I think, in the Indiana game too. He just keeps doing it in big moments. Which I saw they offered the number one kicking recruit in the country. But
I wonder why.
um, yeah. And then again, just um, I don't know. This was also the first game that Ryan Day took the load off of Brian Hartline's plate. He was play calling the plays, and he got outcoached by Mario Cristobal. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's not like that Ryan Day this was the first time he's ever called a game. He's been calling games. He just started not calling games, I think maybe in 2021 or 2020-ish. So he's
Okay.
been calling games for a really long time. And the fact that I mean, dude, the game plan was just not, it was terrible. It was horrible. It was just like, it's that Ryan Day playbook. He just goes, he's just gonna not really throw the ball down the field that much. He's gonna throw a lot of bubble screens, which obviously end up getting picked off once you throw them a few times. And then a lot of run plays to control the game, which is good when you're ahead, but when you're down, there's no point in doing any of that. And it obviously came to backfire. Um, but yeah, this Miami defense is legit. I'm really excited to see what they do against the explosive offense of Ole Miss. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Seeing them against an SEC offense is going to be really interesting. It's going to be an interesting watch. Not, I really don't mean to throw salt in the wound, but Carnell Tate just declared for the draft.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That's why I paused for a
Okay.
second. I was reading it.
Okay.
Um,
Good for
yeah,
him. He's going to
yeah.
be what, a top 10, 15 pick, you think? He probably is, right?
I mean, yeah, I think top 10, top 5. I mean, he was the best receiver on that team this year.
Yeah, he did play better than Smith, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, Smith's a better player, but he had the better season, and that's honestly what scouts care about. So,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
good for him. I mean, again, I think he'll be a very good NFL wide receiver. Um, But yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought it wasn't gonna.
he'll join the list of top
Yeah,
OSU wide
exactly.
receivers in the league.
Exactly. You're right, 100%. But yeah, man, this was a shocking upset. I was honestly watching it. I was able to watch quite a bit of it, even though I was out with friends, and I was kind of in awe the whole time that Ohio State's offense looked as rattled as it did. I couldn't. It was hard for me to believe that it was even the same team. Um,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
just crazy upset, crazy.
yeah, Julian Saint's age really showed there. You know, he's been good all year. He's been playing like a veteran, and then he comes in and really struggles. And I mean, it's okay. You know,
Yeah.
it's okay. But just with that team, it's kind of hard to overlook.
Yeah, and I get that, but I really feel that again, that's what experience brings you, right? You learn how
Right.
to live in the tough moments, and then you take that and succeed in the later tough moments. So Ohio State's fine. They'll be totally fine. They'll be back to being a top 5 team next year, and I'm sure Sayan will continue to be the starter. And I think Sayan's only going to get better. I know he
Yeah.
didn't have an amazing second half of the season, but I think that's honestly just because he's young and the grind of a season like that kind of put its toll on him and he kind of ran out of steam by the end. But now that, again, he went through this, I don't want to call it a trial run because they were the number 2 team in the country, but getting the lay of the land, let's say. I really do think he's just going to get better from here. I am not worried about him at all, even though, again, as you said, those 2 interceptions were really, really bad. I'm not worried about him. I think he'll be just fine. He'll be fine. Not worried. But yeah, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm really sorry again. That's the
Hey, man, Miami was the better team. I mean, I can't even. I was mad, but not anymore. I mean, they're just a better team, and congrats to them.
yeah, and it's not like you're you know, pining for a national championship. You just got one, right? So
Nah,
you'll
man.
live, accept it.
Back to back sounded good.
It did. As a Georgia fan, sounds really damn good. Okay, guys, moving on to the next game. We had Alabama versus Indiana. Eric, what was this murder on live television?
Yeah, a murder. That's what happened. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Alabama loses. They were the number 9 team in the country versus number 1, 3-38 in the Rose Bowl. Um, yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I didn't really expect this after Alabama's performance, but
No,
I should have expected it. Indiana at this rate, what I've just saw from Indiana and what I saw from Oregon, who they're going to play, Indiana's winning the national championship. I mean, Fernando
I think
Mendoza,
they
he
do
plays
too.
so clean. I think they do, and it's a boring national champion because it's a 1 seed, but it's just what's gonna happen, man. Fernando Mendoza, I wasn't super high on him when he won the Heisman,
Neither was I.
but dude, he's really shown up in these playoffs. He went 14 for 16, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. That is so good. And I mean, it was just unreal. His poise is just unreal. He doesn't make any mistakes.
No.
And I mean, it's not like Alabama has a bad defense. They're not the Alabama they used to be, but still, they're Alabama. I mean, they still got to this spot, deservingly so. Um,
Don't
I
let your game fans hear you say that.
oh well, yeah, yeah, I know, right?
uh,
um, I understand.
any chance I get to give a middle finger to the fighting Irish fans, I will. Every opportunity.
Fighting Irish would have lost 38 to nothing. All
You're
right.
right. Honestly, you're
Um,
right.
No, but I seen a lot of stuff about Ty Simpson. Obviously, he got injured this game. He went 12 for 16, 67 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He got hurt. I don't think the outcome changes any bit. They might just lose by, 20 instead of 38. Or instead of whatever, 35 or whatever it is. Um, so, Ty Simpson, I don't think he really made that much of a difference. He wouldn't have won the game for them.
No,
He wouldn't even got it within 2 scores, I don't think. The
no.
defense just played so bad, and it's not really that the defense played bad, it was just that Fernando Mendoza and this entire offense was just picking them apart.
Yeah.
Kurt Signetti, he doesn't show emotion, but he's hilarious. The faces he
Yeah.
makes are
Right?
really funny, and he's just a stone cold killer. I mean, it's unreal. Austin Mack played terrible, really. I understand he's getting thrown into a bad spot against a really good team, but he as a backup, you got to be prepared for these moments. I
Right,
mean, look what happened with Alabama years ago with Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa.
exactly, exactly.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready. Jeremy Renard, who was really good, um, what was that? Last week he went four receptions for 60 yards. The receiver on Alabama, no touchdowns. And then Ryan Williams, once again another bad performance. 6 receptions, 53 yards. We've talked about his drop off before. We don't need to say it again.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, just a horrible game for Alabama. They got out coached, outplayed. Physicality wasn't there. And if I'm Nick Saban watching this, I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
feel this is not the same team. I don't know. It's really weird to see Alabama not at the top.
Yeah, how I've seen a number of, Tide fans gunning for DeBoer's head, and
Oh, I don't know.
I can kinda see the vision,
I,
but
I just think it's too early.
I think it's too early as well. I think if this happened again next year, then I'd get it. But I think it's still a little early on in his tenure. I think we do have to, question Eric whether or not, you know, that I mean, DeBoer came from the Pac-12, but the Pac and the Big 12 and the ACC, whether or not those coaches can really transition to the SEC and the Big Ten. I mean, I think that's a
Right.
genuine question that we should have at this point because DeBoer is definitely the best one, and he had 4 losses this year.
Hmm.
So, I mean, look at Jonathan Smith. He blew up at Michigan State. I mean, I can give you a million other examples. It's proven to be a really difficult transition for a lot of coaches. And I think Alabama was taking a big risk by going with a Pac-12 coach when Saban retired, and they didn't really, it has not worked out, I think, nearly as well as they thought it would. Um, as you said, he was horribly outcoached by Kurt Signetti. Signetti was running laps around him, and Signetti can't exactly run. Um, I mean, it was pretty embarrassing. Having to replace your quarterback when he did was really, really bad. Um, and yeah, man, Indiana just played such a complete game of football. I mean, Mendoza threw the ball 16 times, and they had 2 running backs run for at least 15. Yeah, that had at least 15 carries each. I mean, they will throw anything, everything in the kitchen sink at you. And Alabama just could not adjust. Every time they started to make adjustments, like there were a couple drives early on when Austin Mack first came in where Alabama was starting to make a couple drives. Ryan Williams made a pretty long catch on, I believe, his first drive, but then Indiana immediately adjusted, and Alabama just couldn't adjust back. The adjustments were very, very poor on Alabama's part, and again, Signetti was able to adjust at every single opportunity. I told you this, Eric, as the game was unfolding. I I think outside of quarterback, Indiana does not have the best player on any of these teams that are remaining. I think you can argue that Indiana's wide receivers and running backs and O line and D line and secondary, I think you can argue that they have an inferior versions of those, squads, when compared to other teams. I really think you can make that argument. Um, but they don't make a single mistake. The Indiana Hoosiers don't make a single mistake. Mendoza does not make a bad throw. They don't throw interceptions. They don't fumble the ball. I mean, they just play such a clean, consistent game that, again, outside of quarterback, they don't have the best player on the field, but every single time they win. It's incredible to me. I mean, this is and on obviously that all goes on Signetti's shoulders, right? We need to give all the credit to him. You can't, do anything other than coach that. That is remarkable coaching. He has done an exceptional job. We were making fun of him, Eric, when this man got extended. You remember that? When at the time he was
Last year, yeah.
exactly when he got the third biggest contract, eventually Kiffin would pass him, but at the time it was the third largest contract in the sport. We were like, what the hell? The man hasn't even been to a conference championship yet. And look where he is now.
and he was running his mouth a lot. I mean, he not a
Yes.
lot of people liked him. We didn't like him, and but
Ohio
he's
State.
really changed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's matured a
Yeah.
lot even in this past year, and that's probably another reason why they're winning, just because of the locker room.
Yeah, like last year, one of my favorite moments of the entire season was when some intern at Ohio State, working in the social media department, after Ohio State beat Indiana, tweeted out, Googled it. That was the highlight of my year. Okay, that was the highlight of my year because it was so. Signetti did it only to himself, right?
Yeah,
And look at where both teams are now. Ohio State obviously is far from bad. They're very, very good, but Sayin makes mistakes and Indiana doesn't. I mean, that's just what it comes down to, man. Don't make mistakes. And when you have a quarterback of this caliber and you don't make mistakes, you win. Plain and simple. No matter who
and you
you
win by a lot.
exactly. This game was over by the end of the first quarter. I mean, it was an absolute annihilation of biblical proportions. And And I think Indiana is definitely, definitely going to win the national championship. I completely agree with you. Um, Obviously, a bit of a spoiler for the end of our show where we talk about the bracket, but yeah, man, this team is this team's special. And again, not because of the players on the field, but because of what the coach has done, the culture that he has established, and they're only just getting started. Did you see the big Michigan State wide receiver just transferred to Indiana for next year.
Yeah,
So I mean, they're just getting started. Um, it What a job getting the coach from James Madison. I mean, it's just a remarkable story. And I'm honestly happy for Hoosiers fans because outside of basketball, they have not had anything to cheer for at that university in terms of athletics. But what an incredible story! And as I said, after seeing the result of a game we're going to talk about in a few minutes here, I'm rooting for Indiana hard, man. I'm rooting for them. I think they're an incredible story. As you've said, I think Signetti's matured. I no longer hate the man with
yeah,
all my passion. And yeah, they're just a really special team. They're incredibly fun to watch.
yeah.
Incredible.
Completely agree.
That's all I have for that game. What about
Yeah,
you?
that's all I got.
Okay, guys. So next up, we had number 5 Oregon playing number 4 Texas Tech. Eric, you saw more of this game than I did, but I quickly realized that I really didn't miss that much. So what was going on there?
Yeah, just an absolute, I mean, beatdown.
Yeah.
Oregon wins 23-0 against Texas Tech. Horrible game, honestly, to watch. It wasn't even fun because Oregon was just dominating them. I mean, Baron Morton couldn't do anything. He had 137 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It was a really bad game for Baron
And
Morton.
the lost fumble. Don't forget the lost fumble.
Right, yeah.
3
Um,
turnovers.
yeah, that's and you're not gonna win a game if you turn the ball over 3 times. But I mean, you at least you're at least expected to score some points, but they didn't. Jacoby Williams, the Texas Tech running back, he didn't play bad. He had 13 carries for 81 yards, no touchdowns, obviously, but that's a respectable game. On the other side, though, Dante Moore was playing out of his mind. He went 26 for 33, 237 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception, but he commanded the game really well.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with what I saw from him. He's one of the obviously the top draft prospects at the moment. Which Ty Simpson was also up there. He was number 3. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he just played really, really well, and it wasn't even like the Oregon offense played out of their minds. You know, they scored 23 points. That's not good. That's not bad. That's just an okay game. But their defense played outstanding. Baron Morton was under pressure the entire game. Couldn't do anything. Just locking up all their receivers. And it was really impressive. They had 38 minutes of possession time, Oregon did, and they scored 23 points. So they just commanded the game. They really had them right where they wanted the entire game. They didn't need to put up 40 points on them like Indiana did with Alabama. They just had to command the game and win, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, man. I mean, I will say though, I look like such a dunce. You picked Oregon, I picked Texas Tech. My God, that was bad. I will say though, I was hyping up the Texas Tech defense last week, and I actually think that they kind of lived up to their hype. They
They
held
were
a
keeping
big
him in the game.
they held a Big Ten off. You're right. They held a Big Ten offense to 23 points when their quarterback turned the ball over 3 times, and then their backup running back turned the ball over again. So they had 4 turnovers
Yeah.
and they only gave up 23 points against a Big Ten offense. Okay. The Texas Tech defense, as you said, kept them in the game. They delivered. The Texas Tech defense lived up to my expectations. The Texas Tech offense was 20 times worse than I thought they would be. And here I was thinking that they would make the game competitive after Oregon gave up 34 points to James Madison. I mean, this was an offensive performance that was so pitiful. I mean, it was genuinely unwatchable. Every time Texas Tech had the ball, it was unwatchable, Eric. You could not, it would hurt your eyes just to lay two eyeballs on this team. I mean, it was just really, 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 really bad. And again, that's why I kind of brought up the conversation earlier with DeBoer. A Big 12 team plays a Big 10 team in this playoff, and they just get steamrolled. I mean, they get absolutely pummeled. Um, there really is just a difference, man. You know, like
Yeah.
I feel like no matter how good the Big 12 team is, they're just not up to snuff. And then again, as for obviously Miami has turned out to be a I guess an outlier, right? I don't think Miami represents what the bulk of ACC teams would do in a playoff situation.
They're honestly the only ACC team I think that could do that.
You're right. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And yeah, man, I think DeBoer taking over Alabama and Alabama doing what they've done over the last 2 years, mixed with this game, I don't know, it just really put this mindset in me of like, man, it is the SEC and Big Ten's world. I mean, I know we keep repeating ourselves here, but I mean, it's true, right? I mean, every time one of these big dogs tries to compete with those two conferences, I mean, they fall flat on their face. And the Texas Tech offense just looked completely lethargic, not excited to play at all, especially in the second half. I mean, they had completely given up. And yeah, man, I don't know. I'm glad the defense played as well as I thought they would. That defense really was. Again, you would never guess it by the score, but the defense really was excellent. Giving up allowing 4 turnovers and still only giving up 23 points. I mean, come on, right? I mean, that's a very, very good game. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. That was honestly my big takeaway. Like, man, the Big 12 can't compete. It's I don't want to call it sad, but it is disappointing because the less competition we have, the less fun these games are. I mean, you just said yourself this game wasn't fun,
No, it was
right?
not fun. And it's a defensive game, but I mean, not really when they turn the ball over 4 times. That's just really bad offense.
Yeah.
So, and then Dante Moore had one or two interceptions of his own. So, which Dante Moore, he's got to clean that up. We saw that James Madison scored 34 points on him. If they're giving really good teams short fields, it's over.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll make it really past any further than they have already.
Yeah. Again, I mean, look at what this Texas Tech defense did to Oregon
Right.
when the Texas Tech offense handed Oregon every opportunity for like a 40-point game, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. So we'll talk about it again at the end of the episode, but I think next week is not going to go well. So we'll talk about it then. But as for now, that's all I got. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys. Moving on, we had number 6 Ole Miss visiting. Well, not visiting number 3 Georgia. They were in the Sugar Bowl, but Georgia was the higher seed, so they were technically given the home field. Eric, what was going on there?
Yeah, Ole Miss beats Georgia in a crazy ending, 39-34. Crazy game.
What a game!
Uh,
What a
yeah,
game!
this was the game of the week.
Yes,
Could say even game of the year. I mean, this was really
possibly.
impressive. Both neither team wanted to lose, you could tell, and it was really impressive. Gunnar Stockton, he's okay, but he played pretty well. Yeah, we went 18 for 31, 203 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. It's a clean game.
Yeah.
And that's why they scored 34 points because both these teams played very clean. The defense is non-existent. I mean,
Yeah.
non-existent defense. But and then on the other side, Trinidad Chambliss, really, really impressive game.
Game of his life.
Um,
Game
yeah,
of
30 for 46, 362 yards and 2 TDs. So amazing. And then Kawan Lacey on the ground, 2 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, which he is staying at Ole Miss.
that's
Um,
that I am wow. Can
Lane
you believe
Kiffin was trying
I
to get
still
him to
can't
come
believe it.
over, but he did
Yeah.
not.
I thought for sure he'd go to LSU. For sure. I was very surprised. Very surprised when Kawan Lacey stayed. But anyway, please continue.
But yeah, just a great game from Trinidad Chambliss. He really, really impressed me, stepping up at a huge spot. Just his athletic ability alone is just unreal. The way that he can just get out of situations and find a guy. I mean, that one play where he ran like a figure eight, he ran out of the sky cam and he completed a pass. I mean that doesn't happen. So his ability to just find open guys, and that's also credit to the receivers.
Wow.
When your quarterback's dead to rights in the backfield in a scramble drill, you got to get open, and they do. Um, so all credit to them, and you can't coach that.
Yeah,
That's just raw talent.
you're right.
So really happy for Pete Golding as well. I really like him.
I do too.
Um, yeah, just love the energy, and you can tell the guys really like him a lot,
Yeah.
and they're playing. But that being said, Lane Kiffin, with this win, he's now put $500,000 in his pocket.
I still can't believe LSU gave him that contract. They're giving him money for wins at that Ole Miss has this season. That's just ridiculous to me. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. That's terrible. They should not have done that. Yeah, man. Also, let's give a shout out. Harrison Wallace, former Penn State wide
Yes.
receiver, Harrison Wallace. Oh my God. The game of his life, too. I mean, just play after play after play after play after play. He kept delivering. A game of his life, too. Honestly, dude, you were right. This came down. I mean, there was really only one big mistake that I saw in this game, and that was in the fourth quarter. Georgia had a 4th and 9 on their own 30, and they chose to go for it. And they didn't get it. They fumbled, and Ole Miss recovered. It was technically considered a fumble, even though it was 4th down. They would have gotten the ball anyway on the sack. But Kirby Smart called that play because it worked against Texas. That's why he did it. But that was the one coaching mistake that really did them in. And honestly, when the game came down to a field goal, we'll talk about the safety at the end and the insanity of that in this couple seconds here. But when the game comes down to basically a last second field goal, right? It comes down to mistakes like that. And Georgia made one mistake and Ole Miss made none. There you go. There's your game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, it really is that simple. People think that football it comes, you got to play all 60 minutes, it's every second counts. And that's absolutely true. But when you look at it from a bird's eye view, kind of like that sky cam that Chambliss ran out of for that figure eight throw, it comes down to mistakes, man. And that's why I think Indiana, again, is going to win the championship because they make none. Signetti does not make calls like that ruin the game. And it really just came down to that one problem. Now let's talk about this ending because you filled me in on this. I turned the game off when Ole Miss kicked the field goal. Or sorry, I turned it off when the safety went through. It was a safety with what 2 seconds left or whatever. And
Yes.
I turned it off, and then you gave me this entire breakdown. I'm trying to find it in my phone. I think I saved it from you, but like everyone ran on the field, and then they ran off, and then Georgia actually had the ball and got an onside kick, and it was just so knuck and futz from top to bottom. I don't know if we need to give the play-by-play because it didn't change the result, but honestly, I'm glad I didn't see it because as a Georgia fan, it would have given me false hope. So I guess I won out in the end,
Yeah,
but
because Georgia, they had a play. They got the onside kick at the end of the game. They had a play.
yeah,
And a little, as Scott Van Pelt says, little pitchy woo woo. Didn't do anything. Didn't work. But um, yeah, they had the stage on the field like twice. There's the best stage crew in
right? Good for them.
maybe ever, man. They were so mad. Oh my, they were screaming on the sidelines at whoever. I don't even know who.
Yeah,
I mean, but yeah, just insane game.
I think
Insane
it's gonna
ending,
go
and
down as a
it's just
classic,
what.
man. I think it's gonna go down as a
Yeah,
classic.
instant classic.
I think this game will be
And
remembered across.
definitely will.
Yeah,
Yeah, and even by Georgia, I mean, by the fans of Georgia, it's still a great game. I mean,
yeah.
you can't call this season a disappointment. I
No,
feel like.
no.
Um, yeah. That being said, I'm a huge Ole Miss fan though. At the moment, I really like Trinidad Chambliss. And I like Pete Golding. I just love the energy around him.
I agree.
And this whole team, they just have like a different aura about them that you don't really see too often. It's like a Cinderella run almost.
I agree. If not for Indiana, I'd root for them 110%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trinidad Chambliss has a song now. Somebody made a song for him.
Did they
So
really? I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
okay. Well,
Uh,
sure. I'll,
they'll be
maybe
playing his
we'll
song at Oxford.
listen to it next week on the show. I don't know. But okay. I mean, yeah, seriously. After that game, the man never has to buy a beer at Ole Miss ever again. I mean, he is
No, no, man.
that figure eight throw, dude. When that happened, I was like, Ole Miss is winning this game. Like,
Yeah, they just have an
the
energy
god,
about them.
that's the football gods are telling you we are going to win this game when you make that throw.
I mean, you're literally running circles around them.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. 100%. Incredible game. Instant classic, truly. And neither Georgia should not be upset. They should not be upset at all. They won the SEC. I mean,
Right.
this is a good year for them. They won the SEC, people. That's a great season. You can't get too upset. And yeah, man, just a really fun game. This as you said was the highlight of my weekend easily. Okay, that's all I have on that game. What about you?
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay, again, guys, this is the only NFL game that we're going to talk about, but we will break down the bracket in a couple minutes here once we burn through this game. But Eric, what was going on when the Baltimore Ravens visited the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, we had another crazy game. Baltimore loses in Pittsburgh on a Tyler Loop missed field goal, 24-26. Crazy game. Aaron Rodgers threw the ball 47 times, 31 for 47, 294 yards, and a touchdown. I guess, I mean, that's not even a good game. Both these teams really struggled. They played bad. It was a really bad football until the very end there, which honestly, it ended bad too. Um, Lamar Jackson once again honestly underperforms, but he had a good game. He had 3 touchdowns, threw an interception that wasn't great, but he went 11 for 18, 238 yards, 3 TDs, and one interception. And I'm really surprised that it even came down to a kick because you look at Derrick Henry's yards as well. He had 20 carries, 126 yards, and a
Yeah.
touchdown. I mean, and Zay Flowers 4 receptions, 138 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, they just commanded the game on offense, which shouldn't be happening when you have the highest paid defense in the league that the Steelers do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, this game that second half for the Steelers just encompassed everything that I was thinking that you and I have been saying about them for weeks, right? I mean, the defense is old, they're overpaid, they're overrated, and outside of Watt, they really can't do anything of value. I mean, let's just be
Yeah,
honest.
and Watt has really been off this year as well.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
obviously you had the lung issue,
right. Yeah.
but
It's,
still,
yeah, even before that.
before the lung, he was having problems,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, I just, I don't know. This game, I feel like the final result, while as exciting as it was, it really isn't exciting in retrospect because both teams kind of just played exactly how you thought they would. The Ravens beat themselves constantly, and it got John Harbaugh fired. And then the Steelers fluke their way to a winning season, only on their way to getting annihilated in the first round. I mean,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
happens every goddamn year for both of these teams. It's so, again, as exciting as this game was, and I'm not trying to take that away. I know several people who were at this game, and they said it was a great time, and I believe them. But I mean, it
Yeah,
just was
as a Steelers fan, I just can't get excited. I mean,
agreed.
I wasn't
Done.
excited. I had no emotion when Tyler Lue missed that field goal. I was like, okay, yeah, yeah, he missed, good.
Yeah,
We get to watch the Steelers again. That's not good. I don't want to
yeah,
watch the
you're
Steelers
right.
anymore the rest of the year. They suck, dude.
You're
They
right.
suck. They barely win the North, a bad North at that, with, I mean, old, washed up players on offense that people think are really good if you don't watch football because they hear the name. Same thing on defense. A washed up old defense who is overpaid. It's just, it's really bad. And then you have Mike Tomlin, who's not a great coach anymore. He's not what he used to be. Somehow gets another winning season, the most pointless record in NFL history.
Agreed.
Um, yeah, and then Aaron Rodgers, who's 40 some years old. I mean, who cares really? I don't really care. I was not impressed that they won this game. I don't really care that they won this game, honestly, because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. I know a lot of people who were excited, which is cool. You can be excited. Yeah, great game. You know, they made the playoffs. Good for them. It doesn't matter. We're not gonna, they're not gonna win a Super Bowl. They're not going anywhere. They're not even gonna get past the first round. So
Yeah, man. I walked into work Monday morning after that game, and I just everyone in my office was I mean, they were, relatively happy that because they're not gonna, be thrilled that the Steelers lost, but everyone kind of agreed, yeah, the Texans are gonna kill them. I mean, this just gave them an opportunity to continue the cycle, right, that we've been on for the last 8 years. So, I mean, I can't pretend to get excited. And
yeah.
that's why this game didn't really have an effect on me. As exciting as the last, you know, 20, 30 minutes were.
I
I
mean, it
just
looked like both of these teams were trying to lose, man.
Yeah. And again, as we said this, specifically, I said this a few weeks ago when they played last time. I have never seen two fan bases simultaneously want their own teams to lose more
Yeah.
because both fan bases wanted their coaches out, and obviously Ravens fans got their wish today. Um, and the Steelers are stuck with Tomlin, which is
Yeah.
not good. So it is what it is. I mean, I guess we'll talk about the Steelers in a minute or two here,
Yeah.
a little more, but yeah, we know how this dance ends. That's really all I have to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
all I
more of the
got. I mean,
same, man. It's always the same.
yeah, as good as this game was, and congrats for the Steelers to make the playoffs again. But who cares? I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah, completely agree with you. That's all I have to say on that game. What about you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, guys, those are all the games for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Before we go, we are going to offer up our predictions for both the two college football playoff games next week, as well as all of the first round, the wild card rounds, wild card games for the NFL. So we have a lot of games to predict. Let's get started. So we're going to start with college football. Eric, the first semifinal is the Fiesta Bowl, where number 10 Miami will play number 6 Ole Miss. Currently, Miami is a 3.5 point favorite. As we discussed earlier, Miami's defense is playing exceptionally well against very good offensive opponents in both Texas A&M and OSU. Whereas Ole Miss, their offense these last few weeks has been extraordinary. I understand one of the games was against Tulane, but then when you do that against Georgia, it opens eyeballs. This team is fired up post Lane Kiffin, post Lane Kiffin drama. As you said, they are all in on Pete Golding. Both these teams really have the will and the fervor, right? I mean, these are two teams that are really fighting for the bragging rights to argue that they belong here. So I think this is going to be a really hard fought game. Really hard. You're going to see heart on both sides just pouring off of those sidelines, and I think it's going to be a really fun watch. Um, my gut tells me that Ole Miss wins this game. I think that Trinidad Chambliss is definitely has been inconsistent this year, but he is definitely more consistent than Carson Beck. And that performance that Chambliss put up against Georgia was better than anything Carson Beck has done this season. So if he can do that again, and honestly, I think he can. I think Ole Miss is going to win this game, but I think it's going to be a really hard fought game on both sides. I wouldn't be surprised if it's low scoring, to be honest with you. Um, but yeah, my gut tells me Ole Miss. That's what I'm going with. But this is a really hard game to predict, in fairness. So I'm kind of shooting in the dark here. But both teams have a lot of heart, and I think it's going to really come down to the final play. But I'm going with
Yeah, I
it.
agree. I think Trinidad Chambliss. Okay, I'll go start with Miami.
Yeah,
So I think Miami last week Carson Beck didn't. I mean, he just didn't play that good. If their defense does the exact same thing they did, maybe not score a touchdown, but if they do because Trinidad Chambliss, he's not going to throw into danger.
I agree.
He's going to make a play or either throw the ball away. Um, so he's not going to make it some errant throw across his body that's going to get him in trouble.
Sure.
That's just not what he does. So I think with his decision making, Miami's defense might struggle a little bit because it's just their offense. They're not going to score a lot of points. They scored 17 offensive points against Ohio State. That's not that good.
Yeah.
I understand Ole Miss's defense is not as good as Ohio State's, but still, I mean, they gave up 34 points to Georgia, and Georgia's a great offense. So I don't see an issue there at all. If Ole Miss's defense can just do really anything to stop Carson Beck and maybe get a turnover or two, this game's over, and Ole Miss is going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I think Ole Miss wins. Maybe by 7 or something. And like you said, it's going to be close. You know, it's going to be a hard fought game. All Miami's defense has to do is keep their offense in it. So we'll see.
I agree, man. I think if you can hold Beck to 17 points, you're going to win.
Yeah, easily.
So I really believe that they can hold Beck to that many points. I truly believe that in my heart. I have not loved what I've seen from Beck overall this season. I agree with you. I liked him last week, but that's a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
I don't have evidence to support the theory that he's going to be able to do that consistently. So I have to go with what I've seen more consistently, and that's Ole Miss's offense doing really well. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss, but this is going to be a really hard fought game.
Yeah.
Really hard fought. Okay, next one is number 5 Oregon versus number 1 Indiana in the Peach Bowl. Indiana is currently a 3.5-point favorite. I mean, Eric, you and I have been alluding to this several times throughout this episode. So do we really have to explain ourselves? It is hard to beat the same team twice in one season, but I do not think Indiana chokes.
Do you think it's going to be like a blowout though?
No, I do not. I think it's going to be like a 10-point game. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
do you count that as a blowout?
No. No.
I don't either. I think for me, a blowout is 21 or more.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to win by like 10 or 14. But I think they'll win soundly, not a blowout, but soundly, similar to their last game against Oregon, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't see that happening any differently. I think Dante Moore does have his moments, but he's not Mendoza. And again, Indiana doesn't make mistakes, and that's what it comes down to, man. So
Yeah. I completely agree, man. I mean, I just don't think in any world that Dante Moore can just outplay Mendoza. I mean, that's what he's going to have to do because you see Mendoza, he's going to come into the game, he's not going to make any mistakes. He's going to play a very clean game. And Cursing Nate is going to throw some crazy stuff at you that Dan Lanning should be ready for. He's a good coach, but he's got to be ready for it.
yeah,
You can't get in it. It's going to be hard, but you can't get out coached this game, or you're going to obviously lose again.
yeah,
And Dante Moore has to play to perfection. And
yeah.
honestly, I think he has to play better now in this game than he would have to play in the national championship.
I agree with you.
For Dante Moore.
I agree with you. You're right.
This has to be his best game, and the entire team. It has to be the best game plan, the best execution that we've seen in Oregon in a very long time if they want to get to the next step here.
I agree with you, and I just don't think that they can. I don't.
Yeah, that being said, I think Indiana does win
Yeah.
by like 10. So,
Again, I don't think it'll be a blowout, but they'll win by like
no,
10, 15.
they'll win by enough where people aren't talking like, "Oh, they almost lost."
Agreed. Yep, exactly. Couldn't agree more. Okay, guys, moving on to NFL predictions. We have the wild card round in the NFL. It's exciting to finally get NFL playoffs. I feel like we've been watching
Yeah.
so much bad NFL that it's exciting to get a couple good teams playing against each other. Not this first game though. Jesus Christ. The 8-9 Carolina Panthers are hosting the 12-5 LA Rams because God hates us all. The Rams are favored by 10.5. Do we need to predict this? Are we do we think Bryce Young is gonna have the game of his life? I mean, come on, people. The Rams win
No.
this. The
The
Rams
Rams are
win.
too good. The
Agreed.
Rams are too good.
Yeah, man. The Rams win this. Moving on.
Yep. Yep, that's it. The Rams win.
You look okay. Let me just say this: good for the Panthers. They have been
No,
the
yeah, man,
laughing
yeah.
stock. They have horrible ownership. They have a coach that I'm still not convinced is great, but he's like not an embarrassment. They've had a quarterback who walked. I mean, Pat McAfee himself said that when he was walking into camp in his second year, he looked like he was a Pokemon player in second grade. Like he actually said that. Look at the clip. I mean, everything was going against the Panthers. I'm truly shocked they made the playoffs. So good for the fans. I mean, that is a cool story for them. But yeah, we know how this game ends, right?
Yeah,
We
good for
know.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Okay,
Yep.
guys, moving on to the other game on Saturday night. The Packers playing the Bears for the kabillionth time this season. The Packers are currently favored by 1.5. Um, I don't know, man. The Bears, we've praised the Bears in recent weeks. We've praised Caleb Williams. We have been critical of his high incompletion percentage. However, we do have applauded consistently the fact that they have all these last second wins, right? I mean that takes a lot of stamina and a lot of heart to win all those last minute games. Um, I think the Bears are a very solid team. Um, I think Ben Johnson is going places as a head coach. I think he's a very good head coach. Definitely comes from the Dan Campbell school of coaching. But I think the Packers just as poor of a coach as I think Matt LaFleur is, maybe poor is the wrong word, but overrated a coach as I think Matt LaFleur is. I think the Packers just have too much like raw talent to lose this game, despite it being on the road at night. That will be hard. But my gut tells me that the Packers win. I think experience will come into play here, and I think experience will be the what differentiates these two teams. And the Bears will be back, but it's not. They're not quite there yet. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah. Um, yeah, look, Caleb Williams has looked really good, and this entire Bears team has just looked refounded. They're new. They're a new team. They're not the same old Bears they used to be. The 2 seed.
Yeah.
Packers have looked good this year. Jordan Love's he's honestly looked inconsistent at best this year. He's struggled. I think the Bears do win this game. Um, Green Bay's without Micah Parsons, so which he was okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Bears are I just think the Bears win by I don't know,
Okay.
maybe like 3 or so. It'll be close, but
Yeah. No, I think it'll be a close game, but I think the luck for the Bears is about to run out. I
it's
think
gonna run out.
that's
Okay.
what my gut tells me. I think
Yeah,
I
I mean,
It
yeah,
happens. It's happened so frequently this year that's really hard to, and it's really hard to do that in the playoffs, man.
right.
Right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, I think this Bears team is going places long term. I just think it's a little early for them to be doing, having too much. You know. playoff success at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this will be a fun one. We'll see who's correct next week. It'll be I am excited to watch this game, all things considered. I think it'll be a really interesting watch because again, I really am curious to see Caleb on a stage like this, which we haven't seen from
Yes.
since college, right? So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, if he
Uh,
can somehow win this game, he's completely changed my views on him.
if he wins this game, I would agree with you. Actually, I would agree. I think he'll made me a believer.
Yeah.
Um, okay, next game. The on Sunday night, uh, sorry, excuse me, Sunday afternoon, we have the Bills and the Jaguars. Two teams, Eric, that we have praised at several times throughout the season, but also, as per usual this year in the NFL, two teams that have been horribly inconsistent and have been really frustrating at other points. This really comes down to whether or not Lawrence and Allen show up. When isn't it for the Jaguars and the Bills? Um, Buffalo is favored by 1.5. I'm going to go with, let me think here. Screw it. We're going to go Jaguars. I think at home, again, in front of a crowd that really has not seen a lot of success for the last 5 years. Um, I think Lawrence is going to deliver. I think Allen won't like be bad, but I don't think, again, as we've discussed, Allen is that whole team, right? And I don't think he's going to be able to carry the entire team past this Jaguars team. So I think I'm probably going to be wrong on this. I'm just warning you now. I'm probably going to screw this up, but I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I agree with that. Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence, they're the entire team. I understand that Travis Etienne, he's a great talent, but he hasn't been the same.
No.
He's honestly kind of fallen off these past couple years. But Josh Allen, if he just, I don't even know because the Bills are such a weird team because Josh Allen is such a great talent, and then it's just a huge drop off from the next best player on that team. Um, if he can just do what he always does and somehow miracle wins the game, they deserve it. And I think he will. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is good enough, honestly, to beat them. With the offense he has. So, but the Bills' offense isn't that good either. It's really just Josh Allen. So I don't know. I do think the Bills win this game though.
Okay. Yeah, again, I think this is one that can go either way easily.
Yeah.
And I think there's a very good chance I'm right and a very good chance I'm wrong. Just like the Packers Bears, right? It really is a coin toss because all these teams in the NFL this year really are flawed when you look at them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's hard to like pick, it's hard to predict these games, right? Because you're just like, man, both these teams are really flawed. So
Yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
go with
It's
one
just
over
who's
the other.
worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. Um, okay. Next game, 4:30 on Sunday, we have the 49ers visiting Philadelphia. Philadelphia is currently favored by 4.5. Um, I'll be honest with you, man, that's crazy to me considering how bad the Philly offense has been the last half of the year. Um, I really think I understand this is one of the biggest spreads of the first round, but I honestly think the Niners are going to win this. I really do. I I understand it's going to be a big you know weather difference for them, but I feel like the fact that they've done as well as they have this year with all the injuries that they've had shows you how good they are and how good their coaching is. And I think Shanahan is easily going to outcoach Sirianni. Um, Despite the fact that you could argue the Eagles have more talent, I do think this game will come down to coaching. And again, I think Shanahan's better than Sirianni. So I'm going to go with the Niners on this one because I am a believer of them. I've been really impressed with what they've done, considering so many roadblocks have been put in their way.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So
I think the 49ers win this game.
okay,
Even given the spread. I mean, their offenses look so good, even in losses. These offenses look so good these past couple weeks. And now they're probably going to be fully healthy for the most part. And I don't think the Eagles are good enough at all. I don't think Jalen Hurts is good enough. Jalen Hurts I really don't even think he's that good, to be honest. Sirianni's a bad coach. I don't like him at all. Saquon, great talent. It's going to be hard to stop him, but if they can, they win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Completely agree. We'll see. I mean, again, I can totally see a world where Hertz doesn't deliver, right?
Yeah, we've
So
seen it multiple times before.
this year.
Yeah, I
so
know.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Agreed. We'll see. Okay, guys. Next game. This is the 8 p.m. game on Sunday night. The Chargers and the Pats. Look, New England's favored by 3.5. Um, the Chargers have been a really solid story. I think Herbert genuinely is talented. I think it's unfortunate that he can't level up because the team around him is so inconsistent and, let's be honest, not very good. But I do believe Herbert is talented, and I think Herbert can make this game competitive. But Drake May's your leading MVP candidate, man. I mean, I think this is the Patriots' game to lose. I think they win this at
Yep.
home. Return of playoff football to New England. That's going to be a big deal for that fan base. That at night, that stadium is going to be rowdy. I think the Patriots win this.
Yeah, the spread's what, 3.5? They're gonna win by probably 10 or
I
14. I
agree.
mean,
I agree.
it's I don't think it's gonna be close. Justin Herbert, amazing talent. None of the Chargers really losses are his fault. He's played bad a few times, but dude, his receivers can't catch. They suck. So, and the line is terrible. He's just not in a good situation. Um, and Drake May, like you said, leading MVP. He can't do no wrong. So Drake May and the Patriots are going to win this game by a good bit, and they're going to win it by a lot more than 3. So, yeah, and especially at home. I mean, this game's over before it started. I like Justin Herbert a lot. I'm a big Justin Herbert fan. He
I
just can't get it. It's not even his fault, but he can't get it done just because of the team around him.
Exactly. His team hampers him
Yeah,
substantially. Yeah,
and it's unfortunate because he's such a great talent. He could be great somewhere else.
he could. Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, I do think the Pats win this handily.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay, last game to predict, Eric. Well, who are we kidding? This is a shoo-in. The Texans visiting the Steelers on Monday Night Football. Jesus Christ. I mean, do they win by 10 or do they win by less? I'm going to go over 10 on this one. I think the Texans defense is so good, arguably the best defense in the National Football League. And I understand the Texans offense has been super inconsistent this year, but when Stroud's on, he's really on. And I do think the Texans win this game. I don't think you're going to see Rodgers check the ball into the ground so many times on Monday night. You're going to have whiplash. I mean, it's going to be ugly. I think they hold the Steelers to, honestly, 14 or less. I think it's going to be a handed win on the part of the Texans. I think the Texans win this easily.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's going to be a lot of booze in Pittsburgh next weekend. This is going to be a really bad game. Texans are going to beat them. CJ Stroud, a little bit inconsistent, not what he really used to be, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't matter. Their defense is just so good that it doesn't matter. I mean, the Steelers' offense is so bad that it's honestly already over. It's another one of these games where it's just already over.
Yeah.
I don't think if Aaron Rodgers plays good, maybe they have a chance. Because CJ Stroud, like I said, is inconsistent. They could maybe pick apart the defense. I just don't think that'll be the case. Um, the Texans defense is just way too good. CJ Stroud just has to play okay, and they win the game. So yeah, and you're gonna see a lot of yelling from Aaron Rodgers, a lot of blaming on the receivers.
Yep.
And
I
yeah, this game's
expect.
over. So see ya, Aaron Rodgers. His career will end Monday night.
Do you think he will retire after Monday?
I think so.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think it's over. I mean, what more can he really do? And it's like he's almost like it's like a Big Ben situation where it's like I could just stay in the league but like it's almost hindering my
Yeah.
all-time great because I'm just being starting to be remembered as a guy who just keeps losing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like almost people are kind of forgetting what I did, 10
Yeah.
years ago because I've been in the league for 10 more years when I should have been out 5 years ago. So I think he is done after Monday.
I agree with you. I mean, he should
Yeah.
retire, but I mean, honestly, I don't know if he will considering his ego. So
I don't know. In interviews and stuff, it does sound like this is going to be it for him, though.
again, that's the right decision.
Yeah.
I'll honestly, I'm gonna believe it when I see it mode with him. Because
Yeah.
again, his ego is just second to none in the football world. So, well, that's not true. Puka Nakua is probably past him at this point. But yeah, ego out the wazoo. I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to retirement. But yeah, Monday night could very well be his final game. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Okay, guys. So, uh, that is it for this episode of the Catching the Facts podcast here on the Catching the Facts official podcast network. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe on both YouTube and Spotify, where we post new episodes every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for your continued support into the new year. We look forward to covering the rest of the playoffs for you, and we're going to provide you guys with a wonderful run up to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a lot of fun over the next month, and we're looking forward to it. So, as always, please tune in every Wednesday. We really, really appreciate your support. Eric, do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it. Just yeah, it's been fun so far.
Yeah,
Excited.
yeah, it's been a
And I'm
lot of fun.
excited for some good NFL football.
Exactly. We've been starved for good NFL football. It's been a while, so hopefully a lot of these games deliver. Unfortunately, if we're being honest, Eric, I think it's going to be largely a slop fest where both sides
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
just play really, really poorly. But I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Because I want good games. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, we will see you next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Until then, I'm your host Dan Sisk,
I'm Schroeder.
and we'll see you then.